Hello, everyone out there. It is Courtney with Grand Park. Welcome to your accessible yoga practice today. I'm really glad that you're here to do this with me. I love this part of the practice that we're going to be doing today. So let me tell you what is up and what you need. So you don't need anything. You need to be comfortable. We're not going to be doing any physical movements today, and I'm going to talk about why that is in a moment. You could do this sitting in a chair. You could do this laying in your bed today. You could do this seated on the earth. You could do a combination of those things. Make sure that you're comfortable though. So maybe adding a couple layers if you're a little chilly, trying to find a little bit of stillness and quiet. I know that can be challenging. But we're going to focus today on some of the other limbs of yoga. And let me tell you what that means. So yoga in the West, we think of as a physical practice, but yoga laid out by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras talks about yoga as being an 8-limbed path. So there are 8 different parts. He calls them limbs because it's sort of like having arms, legs, everything is working in tandem with everything else. And so the physical practice is only one part of the practice. And originally the only yoga pose was Sukhasana, which is the seat of meditation, which I find to be very interesting. Yoga was designed to be a way to work with our minds, to understand what is true, to have deeper awareness, to be able to differentiate, I can never say that word right, between the kind of dialogue that happens in the mind, to trust what to listen to. And so different parts of the practice include philosophy, include breathwork, include meditation. So we're going to be accessing some of these other parts of the practice today. And that is my favorite part of the practice is the philosophy, is the breath, is the meditation. So going to these more internal places of ourselves. And the idea is that by doing that, by carving out that space within ourselves to remember our peaceful nature, to remember maybe our truths, our suffering, to give it a space to heal. I find when I do that in my own body and in my own mind, I'm able to recognize suffering in others, to be a kinder human. I really think yoga is a practice of humanity and kindness. So if any of this sounds good, if you want to be kinder to yourself, if you want to be kinder to other people, then I hope that you feel like you're in good hands today. So we're just going to start with a check-in. So finding whatever comfortable position of your body, seated or maybe lying down. Whatever you're doing, make sure that your feet, if you're seated, are touching down on the earth or your hips are touching down on the chair or the floor. And also make sure if you're lying down that you're allowing your body to release. So really connecting with the earth here, or the bed, or the chair. And then we'll just place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Soften your eyes closed, and we're just going to do a check-in with ourselves today. So we're going to practice a yoga philosophy concept called Swadhyaya. This is the practice of self-study, of noticing, of awareness. And let's just start that noticing and awareness by drawing attention to our physical form. So just noticing your body in space. Maybe noticing how the body is today. So is the body tired? Is the body over anxious? Are there parts of the body that feel tight? And we're not judging it, we're not shaming it, we're not changing it, we're just noticing it. We're allowing it to exist and be in our body. From here, I'm going to invite you into the space of your mind, which can be a tricky place, but we're just going to notice without judgment where the mind is right now. So is your mind in a future thought? Is your mind somewhere where you just came from, a conversation you had? Can you, it's okay if it's not possible, but can you try to commit yourself to being here in this practice today? So you've created some time to show up today. Can you allow your mind to be here in your body, in your breath? And then finally, with that hand on your heart, coming into the space of your heart, one of our greatest wisdom places, and just noticing what's in your heart today. So allowing it, not wanting it to change, just being with the space of the heart. And almost like we would with a friend, just holding the space of the heart, not shifting it, not changing it, just allowing what is ever true or present to be true and present, and just holding space for that. From here, gently fluttering your eyes open, resting your palms down on your thighs. We're going to come into a breath exercise together. So we're going to be going back and forth today between breath and meditation, and I'll be adding a little philosophy. So we're getting a little bit of a smorgasbord of the different parts of yoga today. So we're going to do something called alternate nostril breathing. Excuse me. So yogis believe that there are masculine and feminine energies in the body. These are called nadis. And alternate nostril breathing, where we're inhaling through one part of our nose, we're exhaling through the opposite, and then we inhale, exhale the opposite, helps to balance those energies in the body. So if you don't believe any of this stuff, it's okay. I bet you will notice a calming effect. So we'll just give it a try and see what happens. So we're going to start by using the thumb to close your right nostril. So you can also use your left hand. I'm using my right hand. So closing your right nostril with your right thumb, and you're going to have your pointer finger and your middle finger are on standby. So you'll let your exhale come all the way out of your body, taking a soft gaze at the floor. Inhale through your left nostril for 2, 3, 4. Close left nostril, exhale right for 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. Couple more rounds. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, or close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. One more round. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. And then allow both your hands to rest down. Maybe close your eyes, just notice any benefit, or just notice what that experience has created in your body in this moment. And then keeping your eyes closed, we're just going to head into our first meditation exercise. And I just want to say real quick what meditation is not. Meditation is not where we just sit with a clear mind in a state of bliss. Maybe after many years of practice, you might get to that point. But the idea with meditation is to be with our mind as it is. So, and to train our mind to not run away with thought, to not get wrapped up or attached to thought. And I'm going to talk us through an exercise that will help us to have a little bit of control over the mind. So this is called Thought River. And I find this to be a very powerful way to practice meditation. So first, get your body as comfortable as it can be so you can lay down. You can come to a seat in a chair. You can come to the earth. So if you want to switch your posture up, you may. We'll close our eyes here. And we're just going to place ourselves next to a river. So we're going to do a little bit of visualization just to get our bodies relaxed and present. So this could be a place that you've been before. It could be a place that your mind is creating for you. Go ahead and sit yourself by this river. You can dangle your feet off so that your feet are touching in the water. You can just sit by the river. And then just allow yourself to really be in this environment. So maybe feel whatever it feels like underneath your seat. Maybe it's a little mossy. Maybe there are sticks underneath your seat. Maybe the ground is a little bit wet. Start to hear the river kind of rushing by in front of you, and just notice if the river is busy and fast, or maybe it's just like a little stream. And for our Thought River meditation, I'm going to invite you here to listen to the sound of water moving beyond you, or to listen and tune into the space of your breath. So you'll have those two choices to steady your mind. So give your mind a focus, either focusing on this imaginary river, the sounds it creates, or focusing on the breath moving in and out of you. And anytime you notice that your mind has strayed, has maybe run off with a thought, you'll give yourself permission to just toss that thought into your river and allow it to travel down the stream. So it's a practice of noticing what the mind does when we try to still the mind on a single point. And whenever we notice that it's doing something else, we don't give ourselves a hard time about it. We just notice and we drop that thought into the river. So place yourself by the river, feel your seat, what is underneath your seat, and then give yourself either the option to listen to the sounds of the river or to tune into the sensations of your breath. And anytime you notice when you're not doing that, you notice yourself in a thought, you're going to toss your thought into the river and let it go away and come back to your breath or the sound of the river. We're going to be here for a couple minutes. I'm going to be mostly quiet. Every now and then I'll chime in just to remind ourselves to come back to the sound of the river or the sensations of breath. Here we go. Just reminding you, if your mind is attached to a thought, to go ahead and toss that thought into the river, allow it to drift on by. And then come back to the space of your breath or the river passing by you. Draw your awareness back to your breath or back to the sound of the river. Drawing your awareness back to your breath or back to the sound of the river. One more time, drawing your awareness back to your breath or back to the sound of the river, tossing any thoughts into that river, allowing them to drift by. Allowing that image of the river to go. Allow yourself to feel your feet on the floor, your seat on the chair or the floor or your bed. And then go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Softly bring back in your space. And just notice maybe the benefits of that, or maybe just acknowledging the struggle of that. So being inquisitive, being curious about life, about our actions in life. So for our next breath, we're going to do something called a box breath. This is a pretty simple breath. We're just going to inhale for a count of 4. We'll pause the breath for a count of 4. We'll exhale the breath for a count of 4. We'll hold the breath out for a count of 4. So just like we were connecting the dots of a box, and we'll just do that 3 times together. So if you need to change the positioning of the body to be more comfortable, you could close your eyes here, or you could take a soft gaze, whatever helps you focus inward. Go ahead and allow your breath to come out through your nose. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold out. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold out. 2, 3, 4. Allow your breath to come back in however it wants. And then this next meditation exercise we're going to do is, in my experience, the most powerful one for me to get present. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there's been a helicopter that's moving outside my apartment. We're going to use the quality of sound to help us get present. So instead of working against sound, we're going to work with sound to allow us to be in the experience of the moment. So again, if you need to adjust your body in any way to be comfortable, maybe resting your palms down on your thighs or in your lap. If you're laying on your back, allowing the hands to be soft. And then we'll close our eyes here, softening the shoulders, softening the jaw, allowing the body to be heavy and held. And I'm just going to invite us to start to listen to the sounds really close to us. Maybe a little ticking of a clock, maybe a voice that you hear in the room next door or your neighbor above or below you if you're in an apartment. Using that quality of sound inside to connect you with the moment, to draw you into union, into relationship with your space. So I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit, allowing the really close sounds to draw us into presence. And anytime you notice your mind running off, just start to bring awareness to your ears, to what you hear. See if you can start to expand that curiosity of sound to whatever is happening outside your windows or your door. So what can you hear outside your home? Allow that sound to draw you into the moment. And instead of it being a distraction, allowing sound to be a way to help you feel more connected to the external world, or even to your internal world. And anytime you notice your mind going somewhere else, draw your mind to be curious about sound. To allow sound to connect you to the moment that you are in. From wherever you are, flutter your eyes open. Maybe notice the benefit of sound meditation. From here, we're going to do one last breath exercise, and then we are going to sink into a yoga Nidra, which is a really beautiful way to relax and restore the body. So again, if you want to find a different position of your seat, if you want to sit on the floor, if you want to lie in your bed or on the couch. From here, we're going to come into 3 hums together, and humming in singing and uniting voice. Sometimes in yoga classes, there is the sound of Om that is used. And this is a really beautiful way to settle our nervous system, to draw us into relationship with each other, with our external world, all while staying connected to our internal world. So for our humming, we'll take an exhale out, we'll inhale through the nose, and then we'll hum our exhale out. And then we'll do that again 3 times. So just follow along, try. See if you can feel our connection from teacher to student or teacher to student. Allow your breath to come all the way out. Through your nose, take a big inhale in. Let it fall out. Draw in an inhale through your nose. Let it fall out. Draw in an inhale through your nose. Let it go. That was an interesting one for me. And then just allowing your body to breathe itself again. And so for this guided meditation, I'm going to take us on for the last few moments of our time together. I really invite you to get comfortable. So if you want to add a layer, if you're chilly, if you want to cover yourself with a blanket, if you want to come to lie down, or to whatever, use a pillow in any way, just find a way to be the most comfortable in your body. And for guided meditation, I'm going to draw awareness to different body parts. And through our awareness, through our self-study, our Swadhyaya, I'm just going to invite you to explore that area. Maybe notice if you're holding tension there, if you're gripping in any way, and through that awareness, maybe we can soften and release even just a little bit of energy, just so we're not holding so much. So for the rest of our time together, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, just to go inside yourself. Allow your body to release. Allow your body to be held up by whatever is holding it up. If you're seated in a chair, allowing your feet to rest down. And we'll just start by drawing awareness into our feet. So softening into the toes, into the balls of the feet, into the heels, the arch, the top of the feet, and the ankles. And just seeing if there's any way we can release any holding in the feet. Drawing awareness up the shins and the calves. Allowing the knee joints to be soft. Allowing the thighs, the fronts of the thighs, the backs of the thighs, all those heavy muscles and bones to release. Allowing the space of our hips to soften. If you're seated in a chair, allowing your hips to be held up by the chair. If you're lying down, allowing your low back to be supported. softening into the space of our bellies. So notice if you're gripping or holding in your stomach. Maybe through some awareness, something gets released, something softens, something opens. Allowing the mid back and the upper back to release, shoulders melt away from the ears. Collarbone is wide, arms are heavy at the sides, elbow joints soft, wrist joints release. And just noticing how you're holding the hands, maybe allowing some gripping to soften in the hands. Coming into the space of your heart. Just noticing what is in your beautiful heart right now. Just existing with any emotion that is rising or emotions. Allowing them to be freed by allowing them to be here. Allowing the breath to support whatever is in your heart right now. Coming to the space of your neck and your throat, softening anything you can there. Drawing awareness to the jaw, notice any clenching or gripping in the jaw. Maybe through some noticing we soften something. Allowing the tongue to be heavy in your mouth. Allowing your cheeks to droop down on your face. Allowing breath to come in and out of nose as you allow sound to come in and out of ears. If your eyes aren't closed, really allowing the eyes to soften, allowing the eyelids to be heavy. Maybe even imagine the eyelashes were weighted. Coming up to that space between your eyebrows, letting that area soften. Letting the space across your forehead soften. And if any thoughts do come up, as thoughts will come up, maybe just choosing to see them as little clouds floating by the sky of your mind, not attaching to them, just letting them pass by. Top of the head, and if you have any hair releases. Just allowing the entire body to soften and rest for 1 minute here. Starting to bring awareness back to your breath. Allowing that connection of your breath to connect you to your spirit, to your body, and to this moment. You are welcome to stay as you are. You are welcome to softly flutter your eyes open, start to take back in your space. And just noticing the benefits of some of the other limbs of yoga. So we did no physical posturing of yoga, but noticing if you feel this idea of union, that yoga means union, through some breath work, through some meditation, through some philosophy. And if you are interested in carrying off some of this philosophy into your real life, so yoga is not just something we do or something we do when we sit in a chair and do yoga. Yoga is something that we try to embody in our life. So if you'd like to take this idea of Swadhyaya, so awareness or self-study, off into your day or your week, I would invite you to just notice how you're doing things, to notice the results of what you get out of the way that you're doing things. And without judging it, without criticizing it, maybe choosing to try something different if you're not getting the result that you want, to choose to listen to yourself, to choose to acknowledge maybe someone else's humanity. So this idea of studying ourselves and our habits so that we are noticing how we're showing up to the world can be very, very powerful. So maybe taking that off into your real life. Let us join our hands over our beautiful hearts, bowing into the wisdom of your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, everyone. Thank you, Grand Park, for giving us a space to do some accessible yoga. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in all of you. Thank you, everyone. And I'm really glad you are here today.